Namaste all of you. So today I will discuss about the gonadotropins hormones. So there are numerous hormones which are called gonadotropins like LH, FSH, and androgen in male. And so basically LH and FSH and SCG are the basically real gonadotropins. Okay, so I will discuss about the one by one on them. So LH means luteinizing hormones and the follicular stimulating hormones are called the gonadotropins. So especially two hormones only are called gonadotropins like LH and FSH. So because stimulate the gonads, because they are having the function, they are playing the role in the activation of the gonads. That's why we are calling them the gonadotropins. So in males, they like the testes, and in female the ovaries are the gonads. So they are not necessary for life, but are essential for the reproduction. And these two hormones are secreted from the cell in the anterior pituitary called gonadotropes. So most gonadotropes secreted only LH and FSH, but some appear secreted in both hormones. So the physiological effect of the gonadotropins. So physiological effect of the gonadotropins are known only in the ovaries and testes. So together they regulate the many aspects of the gonad function, both males and females. So if I talk about the LH, so in both sex LH stimulates secretion of sex steroids from the gonads, and in the testes LH binds to receptor on the Leydig cells. So stimulating synthesis and secretion of the testosterone. So in both sex LH stimulates secretion of sex steroids from the gonads in testes. In males, and LH bind to receptors on the Leydig cells, so stimulating synthesis and secretion of the testosterone. So this is also playing the major role into the secretion of the testosterone from the Leydig cell of the testes in men. So LH also stimulates the secretion of testosterone, which is converted into the estrogen by adjacent granulosa cells. So in case females, ovulation of a mature follicle on the ovary is induced by a large burst of the LH secretion known as the pre-ovulatory LH surge. So residue cells with ovulated follicles proliferate to form a corpus luteum, which secreted the steroid hormones, progesterone and estradiol. So LH is also required for the continued development and function of the corpus luteum of the ovary, and the name LH derived from the effect of the inducing luteinizing of the ovarian follicles. So now I will talk about the FSH. So FSH means follicular stimulating hormones. It is the name implies the FSH stimulates the maturation of the ovarian follicles. Administration of FSH to human and animal induce the superovulation of the development of more than the usual numbers of the mature follicles, and hence increase the number of the mature gametes. So if I talk about the control of the LH and gonadotropins, so the principal regulator of LH and FSH secretion is gonadotropin releasing hormone. That is the same as I discussed all the hormones releasing from the hypothalamus. It is also controlling the hormones from the gonads. Okay. So if I talk about the disease state, so diminished secretion of the LH and FSH can result in the failure of the gonadotropin functions. Gonad function, that is called the hypogonadism. This condition typically manifests in males as failure in the production normal numbers of the sperm. In female cases of the reproductive cycle, though in case of female the siege of the reproductive cycle, and in case of male there is a failure into the number of the sperm. Okay, regeneration. So next is the SCG. So beta SCG, it's also called the beta SCG. So it is a hormone for the maternal recognition of the pregnancy produced by the trophoblast cells that are the surrounding a growing embryo. Okay. So since a trophoblast initially, so which eventually form the placenta after the implantation. So presence of beta SCG detected in some pregnancy test. So some cancerous tumors produce this hormone. Therefore, the elevated level are measured when patient is not pregnant. So may lead to the cancer diagnosis, and the if high enough paraplastic syndromes basically. So if I talk about the structure of the SCG, so beta SCG is a chronic gonadotropic glycoprotein and composed by the 237 amino acids. Okay, so it plays so many functions. So SCG, namaste all of you. So this is the another chapter I am discussing today. So that is the ACTH hormones. Basically, that is the adrenocorticotropic hormones. Okay, so basically first I will discuss about the disease state of the ACTH hormones basically. So because disease state is very significant of this hormone, so First, the disease caused by this hormone death is the Cushing syndrome. So this is the disorder in which the adrenal gland makes too much cortisol. It may be caused by a tumor in pituitary gland or use of the steroid medicines. So second is the Cushing disease. So it is a form of the Cushing syndrome. In this disorder, the pituitary glands make too much ACTH hormones. It is usually caused by the non-cancerous tumor of the pituitary gland. So next condition is the Addison disease. So it is the condition in which the adrenal gland does not make enough cortisol. Okay. So next is the hypopituitarism. So hypopituitarism is a disorder in which the pituitary gland does not make enough of the some or all of its hormones. So the next question is, why do I need a SATH test? So you maybe need this test if you have any symptoms of too much or too little cortisol. So symptoms are like weight gain, build-up of the fat in the shoulders, pink or purple stretch marks, skin that bruise easily, okay, fatigue, acne, muscles weakness. So there are the other if I'll talk about the other functions, are the loss of appetite, loss of body and facial hair in the men, low sex drive in men and women, sensitivity to cold, ultimate more than the urinating more than the normal conditions, and fatigue. So if I'll talk about the functions are very significant of the SATH. So the adrenocorticotropic hormones are the so many types like glucocorticoids, mineralocorticoids. So the glucocorticoids back side example is the cortisol, okay, and the ACTH also is the adrenocortical hormone. So glucocorticoids, cortisol, and if I talk about the mineralocorticoids are the best example is the aldosterone, okay. So if I talk about the functions, so it plays a major role in the metabolism functions of the carbohydrate, fat, and lipid, and also the protein. So the metabolic, it causes the hyperglycemia in the carbohydrate metabolism, and in the case of protein, it starts the catabolism of the protein, and in the case of fat, it also increases the lipolysis and the bond dissolution in case of the other growth. So like the next hormones is the androgen. So basically androgen is the sex hormone that is also called the testosterone, and basically in male. So I will cover this topic in the next class, okay. So ACTH is basically polypeptide tropic hormones produced by the and secreted by the anterior pituitary gland, okay. So it is also used as the modification as the diagnostic agent. So ACTH is an important component of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis gland. So deficiency of ACTH is a sign on the secondary adrenal insufficiency. So basically the production and regulation of the ACTH and other hormones that are the B lipoproteins are secreted from the corticotropes in the anterior lobe, okay, of the pituitary gland in the response to the hormones, that is the corticotropin releasing hormones. So basically CRH is the hormone that is regulating the adrenocorticotropic hormones and other glucocorticoids and mineralocorticoids from the adrenal gland especially, because it also has a negative feedback mechanism. So if you are having the low level of the ACTH in your body, so hypothalamus start to release the CRH to increase the sufficiency, and if you have the more, so it is the hypothalamus will inhibit the CRH hormones from there, and it there is the automatically will be the range of the ACTH in your blood will be decreased. So ACTH also, it is the basically the polypeptide chain and having the 39 amino acids in the structure, okay. So this was the topic of the ACTH. So I hope you have understood this topic, and I will discuss the next class about the sex hormones basically, okay. So thank you so much, take care till then. Namaskar all of you. So today's topic is just I am teaching the hormones. So today's topic is thyroid and TSH. So hormones from the thyroid and the TSH, that is the regulating hormones of the thyroid hormone. So today I am discussing about the thyroid hormone. So basically thyroid is a butterfly shaped gland and sits low on the front of the neck, okay. So thyroid gland weight is around 10 to 20 grams in normal adult. So your thyroid lies below your Adam's apple, okay. So this is the part that is called the Adam's apple. So along the front of the windpipe. So these thyroid has two side lobes connected by a bridge that is called isthmus. In the middle, when the thyroid is its normal size, you cannot feel it. Okay, so bronze red in color and thyroid rich with blood vessels. So thyroid hormone production and the function of the hormone. So there are so many functions which are exerted by the thyroid gland, especially. So thyroid gland uses iodine from food to make two thyroid hormones that are the triiodothyronine, that is also called T3, and thyroxine, that is also called T4. So it is also stores these thyroid hormones and release them as they needed. Okay, so hypothalamus and the pituitary gland, which are the located in the brain space, brain help control the thyroid gland. Okay, the hypothalamic release thyrotropic release hormone that is controlling the thyroid hormones from the hormones from the thyroid gland especially. Okay, so the hormones from the hypothalamus are acting like a controlling mechanism on the all hormones from the pituitary gland are releasing basically. So which stimuli the pituitary gland to release thyroid stimulating hormone, that is TSH, when the hypothalamus and pituitary gland are working normally. So they sense when thyroid hormones levels are very low, so they can secrete the more TRS, that is thyroid releasing hormones, and TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormones, which stimulate the thyroid to make the more hormones. So okay, to cover up the requirement of the bodies. Okay, so bodies needs. So thyroid hormones levels are too high, so they can secrete less. So TRH and TSH, which reduce the hormone production by thyroid gland. So basically they are the negative feedback mechanism is applying here, because if your body's level, the thyroid hormones level in your body is very low, so hypothalamus and thyroid gland start to form the TRH and TSH. So if you are having the very low level in your body, so they start to release the TSH and TRH. So the hormones level in your body can be increased from the thyroid gland. So thyroid gland hormone biosynthesis. So there are two biological active thyroid hormones, T3 and T4. So they are composed of the phenyl ring attached by either linkage to a tyrosine molecule. So tyrosine metabolism having a very significant role, playing a very significant role in the hormones, thyroid, especially thyroid biosynthesis hormones. So both have two iodine atoms on their tyrosine, that is the inner ring. They differ in that TH has two iodine atoms on its phenyl, that is the outer ring, whereas T3 has only one ring. So the compound formed if any iodine atoms is removed from the inner ring of T4 is T5 triiodothyronine, that is the reverse T3, and that is also called reverse T3, which has no biological activity. So this is also the active form of T3. So there are two biological active thyroid hormones, thyroxine and triiodothyronine. So they are composed of the phenyl ring attached to either linkage to a tyrosine molecule. Both have two iodine atoms on their tyrosine ring. So if I talk about the functions of thyroid hormones, basically act in nearly every cell in your body. So it act to increase the basically basal metabolic rate after protein synthesis, help regulate long bone growth. Okay, and natural neural and maturation and increase the body sensitive to catecholamines by and the next function of the thyroid hormones also regulate the protein, fat and carbohydrate metabolism, especially affecting how human cells use energy compounds. So basically how much protein, fat and carbohydrate you are eating, how many you are storing, how many you are consuming, basically this is the function of the thyroid hormones are also controlling them. So basically the thyroid hormones also involving into the carbohydrate, fat and lipid metabolism. So there is a one term that is the thyroglobulin. So thyroglobulin is a dimeric glycoprotein produced by the follicular cells of the thyroid gland and used entirely within the thyroid gland. So it is secreted and accumulated at 100 of the grams per liter in the extracellular compartment of the thyroid follicles, accounting for approximately half to the protein content of a thyroid gland. Human that is called the human thyroglobulin is a homodimer amino acids may be removed from the N terminus in the mature protein. So thyroglobulin in all vertebrata and the main precursors to the thyroid hormones, which are produced when thyroglobulin tyrosine residue are combined with the iodine and the protein subsequently cleaved. Each thyroglobulin molecule contains approximately 100 to 120 tyrosine residue, but only in small numbers like 20 of these subjected to the iodination by the thyroperoxidase in the follicular colloid. So therefore each thyroglobulin molecule forms approximately 10 thyroid hormones molecule. Okay, so there are so many thyroid conditions. There are the normal and abnormal too. So like goiter. So if I talk, these are the disease state of the thyroid gland. So a general term for the thyroid swelling, goiter can be harmless, can present iodine deficiency or a condition associated with the thyroid inflammation called Hashimoto thyroiditis. So thyroiditis is the inflammation of the thyroid, usually from a viral infection or autoimmune conditions like thyroiditis can be painful and have no symptoms at all. So next, the autoimmune diseases is the most common cause of the hypothyroidism. So the next is the Graves' disease. So it is an autoimmune condition in which the thyroid is overstimulated, causing hypothyroidism. Next is the thyroid cancer. So in common, it is an uncommon condition. It is an uncommon form of the conditions of cancer. So thyroid cancer is usually curable. Surgery, radiation, and hormone treatment may be used to treat the thyroid cancer. So this is the treatable condition. Next is the hyperthyroidism. Hyperthyroidism, basically the symptoms of the hyperthyroidism are like weight loss despite a normal or increased appetite or food intake, rapid irregular heartbeat, sweating, feeling nervousness, anxiety, trouble sleeping, and diarrhea, tiredness, muscle weakness, okay, skin and hair changes. So basically they are the in women's irregular periods is very common symptoms of the hyperthyroidism. So the cause of hyperthyroidism is Graves' disease, I discussed already above. So other common causes of the hyperthyroidism include the toxic thyroid nodules or toxic multinodular goiter, thyroiditis, and hypothyroidism. So the symptoms of the hypothyroidism basically are the weight gain, tiredness, dry skin, constipation, hair loss, thinning hair, hoarse voice, memory problems. So basically this is the very common condition in all females in India, in developing country. So and the female who is suffering from the hypothyroidism basically has the hair loss and the weight gain and the laziness laziness are the common symptoms of the hypothyroidism in female in developing country. So cause of the hypothyroidism like Hashimoto thyroiditis. This is also called as the Hashimoto disease. It is an autoimmune condition, the most common cause of the hypothyroidism. So damage to the thyroid from radiation treatment is to treat head or neck cancers and certain there are certain medicine like lithium and amiodarone, interferon alpha can also cause hypothyroidism, and sometimes treatment for the overactive thyroid can unfortunately end up the causing hypothyroidism. So basically who gets this problem, thyroid problem? So both underactive or overactive thyroid condition are more common in women than the men. So hypothyroidism is very common in older than the 55 years of the total age. So the complication, the untreated thyroid disorder can lead to the over problems and other problems like heart disease, high cholesterol level, high blood pressure level, and osteoporosis. So if I talk about the diagnosis, so you may, if you are suspected and you are having the symptoms, so you may go through the serum level of for the T3, T4, and TSS level. Okay, so first you have to visit the physician. Then if he is suggesting on the basis of the symptoms, so you may go through the laboratory tests. So there are only the some exceptions, like if your cholesterol level is increasing in your body, that means you are suffering from the hypothyroidism, and if you are having the hypothyroidism, so your cholesterol level will be decreased as well. So I don't know this is the fact, but this is the AIDS. Okay, so next is the TSH. So basically it is also the relative to the T3, T4 hormone. So that's why I am covering this topic in this class also. So thyroid stimulating hormones, also known as the thyrotropic hormone. So it is abbreviated form. So this is also called TSH. So it is a pituitary hormone that stimulates the thyroid gland to produce the thyroxine and the T3 and T4 basically, which stimulate the metabolism of almost every tissue in the body. So if I talk about the functions of the thyroid stimulating hormones, is a pituitary derived glycoprotein hormones, and the molecular weight is around the 28,000. So that is the composed of the two non-covalently linked subunits, that is alpha and beta. So TSH is chemically related to the pituitary gonadotropins, luteinizing hormones, and follicle stimulating hormones as well. So as to the placenta gonadotropin hormone, that is also called the beta HCG. So TSH is synthesized by the thyrotropes of the anti-pituitary gland and stored in the secreted granules. So TSH is released into the circulation in a regulated manner by to the thyroid cells and activate them to release the thyroid hormones. So so thyroid stimulating hormones secreted by the anti-pituitary gland. So anti-pituitary gland also stimulate the thyroid hormones to produce the T3 T4 hormones, and also regulate the endocrine function of the thyroid. Okay, so hypothyroidism, that is the low level of the thyroid hormones, that also body's immune system attack and destroy the thyroid gland. So basically TSH hormones is controlling the all hormones from the thyroid hormones, and it is also act as a negative feedback mechanism for the thyroid hormones. Okay, so regulation, if I talk about the regulation, so when thyroid stimulating hormones bind to a receptor of the thyroid gland, they cause this cell to produce the thyroxine and trihydrothyroidine that release into the bloodstream for the functions, and these hormones have a negative effect on the pituitary gland as I recited already. So stop production of the thyroid stimulating hormones if the level of the thyroxine and trihydrothyroidine are very high. So they are strictly off production of a hormone called thyrotropin releasing hormones, that is also the controlling hormone that is releasing from the thyroid hypothalamus. Okay, so thank you so much for this video. I hope you are understanding my topic. If you have any problem related to the previous topics, so let me know in next class, and thank you so much. Take care. So namaskar.